it like from day one of Facebook. But you're always gonna try out new ideas. You gotta just stick to it. So Cam, this last trip, we first went to the Dominican Republic in beautiful Las Terrenas, and now we have been in St. Martin
for the last 2 weeks.
And
it's amazing. You know, they're both pretty different places. Las Terrenas, there's absolutely nobody there. So the beaches were some of the most beautiful beaches, and there was absolutely nobody on the beach. All four of us were ripping around on four-wheelers, and nobody was there. So it was quite a unique experience, but so beautiful. A place I would definitely take my wife at some point when I find her. You know, I've been dating American girls for 30 years. I think I might be over it. So I'm on a worldwide extravaganza to find my future wife.
You're taking interviews, basically.
Basically, I'm going out to each country and place we visit and trying to find that trophy I've been looking for.
Would you date the Fous? We could make an application page.
We could, yeah.
I'm more looking for a notebook type of love, but I am also taking applications.
Yeah, looking for true love. You know?
Now, Las Terrenas is what you would think about when you think of like a tropical vacation. It is pure jungle, it's humid, there's the big trees, and it's green and lush, and then they have the crystal green waters. It's very like Hawaii-esque and that type of thing, where St. Martin is actually a little... So, that's true. So St. Martin is a French colony, so it's a lot of Europeans. It's been really interesting. I love the town. It's really well set up, and they have like the clearest water I think we've seen in anywhere we've gone. In Colombia and Costa Rica, because it's more Pacific and it's just different spots, it's not the Caribbean or the Gulf, the water's brown, the beaches are brown. Yeah. It's not as scenic, but I think here it's like you got the mountains or hills, and you got the crystal blue, green water, the snorkeling. It's like it's paradise over here.
Yeah, no, I really love it here. I was just talking to my mom about it, and we were talking about maybe coming back out here for Christmas. We're planning out maybe next spring, coming back out here as well. So I really enjoyed our time here. I'm bummed that this is our last day on the island. Yeah.
So these are obviously the good parts about traveling and trading. There are some disadvantages to traveling and trading rather than being at home. For me, the big issue everywhere we've gone, especially in Colombia, but also in the Dominican, is the internet situation. It's very rare to even get 1 megabyte per second downloads.
Yeah, I mean, you can 1 to 1.5, you can manage trading. But some places we showed up and it was 0.05. We actually had an amazing house that we showed up to in Dominican, and we only stayed there for 1 day, and we had to get out of there and basically pay for that house and the next house.
We did. So we paid like $3 grand to rent this house for the week. The net was so slow, and the lady wouldn't give us back the money, and we had to bail because we got to trade the next day. So we had to get another place, and we ended up paying for both of them.
Such is life, you know?
Such is life. But we made the money back trading, so the disadvantage is the slow internet. You can't do like heavy scanning. You can't do a lot of streaming stuff like the streaming videos and stuff like that, but you can get your charts, you will get your quotes, and if you can keep it to a bare minimum, things will move just fine. And I actually find that I trade much better with this type of condition, because at home, when you have like the 100 megabytes per second and the 6 monitors, it's like this information overload. You think you need all of it. You think you need all of it because you're used to it and you see other people have it, and you realize
it just looks cool.
It just looks cool. It's all a luxury.
It's really just, the more simple you can make your trading strategy, the better you're gonna do. When people ask me, about all these weird chart indicators or RSI, stochastics, all that stuff, it's like, none of that stuff matters, man. Look at the pattern, look at the price, look at the volume, and that's basically all you need.
And focus. And so like for me, like at home, I might be watching like 50 stocks. Here, I pick the 5 best stocks because I don't want to stream too much. And then I really hone in and I wait for the best entry. So my trading has been like off the charts here compared to at home, because My main problem as an overtrader, and every trader has their own weakness. We all have our strengths, but then we also have some weaknesses. Mine is being an overtrader. You know, at home,
You love to trade.
I love to trade.
No
It is
doubt
my
about that.
passion. I'm obsessed with trading. I dream about charts all the time. I'm 34 years old and I'm dreaming about charts and hitting my big score. So when I'm at home and I have all this stuff going on, I'm just freaking trading. And the thing is, in any given market, in any given day, there's really only maybe 2 or 3 perfect opportunities, and you gotta wait for them. But if you're trading too much, then you don't know when to go in big when you see them. Where here, it's like you have that one trade and you're stalking it all day. And when you get it, you hit it like a man, and it feels good. And so I've been making a lot more money down here than I have at home, which is paying for the trip, which is awesome.
Yeah, you definitely, it's nice to be making money trading when you're on the road, because that's all we're here to do is work. I mean, we're out here to have a good time, enjoy the scenery, create some really excellent memories, but we're out here to work as well, trade every day, run our businesses, make sure everybody's happy, and getting the proper education as we're all out here having fun.
And I think what's been working well for me and Cam is that, you know, because there's like so much stuff to do in St. Martin, and even in Dominican, there's the ATVs and the zip lines, and we were jumping off cliffs, and we've been just riding. Anything we saw, we jumped off of. Anything we could swim in, we swam. I mean, we did everything. And so what happens is when you're trading at home, like you just, you know, it's the only thing you have to do that day. Here,
Yes,
because
great.
there's so many activities and we want to go do it, we really focus in for 2 or 3 hours so that we can go and enjoy ourselves. And so that makes our trading a lot better, because you don't have to trade the whole day. I know you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I really only focus on the first 2 hours. The rest of the day, I'm kind of just monitoring stuff. I mean, when I'm home in San Diego, I'll be around for most of the day at the home at the computer, watching charts. But out here, you know, wham bam, thinking, man, first 2 hours, maybe first 15 minutes, I'll make 1,500, 2 grand, and I'm out. That's it. So,
Throughout the last 10 years, I have statistics on I make about 75% of my money in the first hour.
yeah.
It just happens to be that because we're degenerate gamblers, and all traders are, whether it's us or anybody, you know, you
stick
convince
around.
yourself,
Yeah,
you
there's
convince
more
yourself if you make 2,000 the first hour, there's 9 hours or 8 hours or however long the market is, that you're gonna make $18,000 that day.
Yeah.
But what really happens is you make the 2,000 bucks, and the human brain's only conditioned really to make so many good decisions in a row, they start giving it back. And then it's like that slippery slope of once you give it back, the
Then you want to
tailspin
make it
starts.
back, and then you bring it back, then you make it back. I mean, you know, you have your really big days where
Yeah.
sometimes everything's just hitting, and you just sit there and you keep trading, and you just, you know, let it fly. My biggest day was 15 grand in a session, but that's very rare for me. A lot of times I'll hit, you know, 2,000 bucks first hour, and I'm like, all right, you know, maybe I should just kick back, let that sit, not overtrade, so I can keep that profit. You know, a lot of the big problem is people make money, or they have a profit and they just let it go to waste and actually don't take it.
Yeah.
And you know, you're not going to make any money if you don't take the profits at the end of the day.
Very true. So any other kind of disadvantages besides the internet speed? What are some of the other issues we've run into? Tell me about the gear that you bring. I think that's really important. Obviously you can't, so our first trip to Costa Rica, this bozo brings this like monster suitcase, the type of suitcase that people
I brought
carry
a suitcase just
nuclear weapons
for
in. It's like this
a
like
freaking
protected
30-inch
case.
monitor. I brought a 30-inch 4K monitor to Costa Rica. I mean, it was awesome to have, but it sure was a pain in the ass to lug around all over that country.
And you don't need it.
No. So, I mean, now we both have the Asus monitors. They're 1080p monitors. They're quite a little bit expensive. They're about 300 bucks.
Yeah.
But they're the best that you can get right now with current technology. So they're really slim, thinner than a notebook. You just put them in your
Thinner than this.
backpack with your laptop. I have an MSI WS60 workstation, which is a really great computer. And then I just attached one Asus monitor. So I
Yep.
had two, and I broke it on the first day.
Yep.
So that was bad news.
Same thing with me. I've got my MacBook. I use this to mostly check emails, do social media or video editing. My trading computer is an Asus. And it's just I got it from what's his name? Eddie Z from Trading Computers Now. And then I also hook 2 Asus monitors to it. USB monitors. They're like 250 bucks or whatever. I hook them both to it, and that's all we need. And then basically my setup will be, I'll have my trading platform up on the main screen with TC2000, which is our charting platform. And then on the left screen, I have Gmail and Slack, which is our office communication system. And then on the right screen, I'd have all my social media. So it's like thematch.com, Plenty of Fish, Facebook, StockTwits, you know, all that stuff goes on the right side. I keep them separate.
Then you gotta have your iPhone with the Tinder going on at the same time.
And then, you know, and then you're good to go.
See what's going on outside of the work game.
What other kind of equipment do you lug besides the trading stuff? So Cameron, he lugs a lot of equipment. So like all this stuff we're doing here is
I bring a lot of camera equipment. You know, I've been doing photography and videography as kind of a little hobby for years now. So we're shooting right now on a Sony a6000 with a little Sony mic attachment with a dead cat wind block on it. And then we got a Manfrotto carbon fiber tripod here, just so we're chilling.
Yeah.
These plastic chairs we do not bring.
These are the beach chairs?
These chairs provided. We're also both using the GoPro Hero 4s.
We love GoPros.
GoPros are amazing. And the thing that kind of took us to the next level on our videos this trip is I bought a Phantom drone here, the Phantom 2 Plus. It's been quite interesting experience. I've never read it or drove it before, but we crashed this thing left and right. I crashed it off a waterfall into the water. We thought we were toast. We're like, oh man, all our footage is lost. This is like after the first week of being here. We're like, everything's ruined. We're not getting any drone footage. But we let it sit for a couple days, and next thing you know, it was good to go. We're about getting ready to fly it right after this webinar.
Drones are cool, man. It makes your life look a lot cooler than it really is.
Oh man.
Like when we're like, so we ride around the ATVs and these drones will follow you and record everything. It just looks like, it makes you feel like a movie star almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you see the footage and it's so good. So Cam, we've got some questions from our students. They've emailed me and they've left comments on the blog. I wanted to go through a couple of them. So Pat is asking, what are your thoughts, and I didn't even know this is true, what are your thoughts on living in Puerto Rico with it being the #1 lowest tax jurisdiction for Americans?
Ooh.
I don't even really know what that means, but I'm interested to actually research that.
Yeah, because I'm paying almost half my money goes to taxes right now. And
more than half.
It's kind of bullshit. So that's a great question. We're gonna have to look into more into that because I've never even heard of that or what that means.
50% taxes.
Maybe I'll be living in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. It's difficult, but that's the price you pay to live in a country with the most nukes, baby. America.
America.
So Garrett, Mr. Cox wants to know, just wondering what type of equipment you're using to trade on the go. We did that. Dun, 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 dun. So Nathan wants to know, how do you ensure a fast and reliable ISP when traveling to very remote destinations? So it's
we kind of touched on that already. I think
it's a little bit of the pull and pray. A little bit of pull and pray.
What we've been talking about actually is getting a satellite modem so that we have a really good connection at all times. Costs about $800 a month, but $800 a month, you can make that on one good trade very, very quickly. So,
and that would be like if you're going to the jungle. So 99% of the places you go, like Tim just picked one us up for him. If you get like a mobile hotspot, so we got one at a local cell phone store at St. Martin, a mobile hotspot that's unlocked, and then wherever you go, you can slide in the SIM card for where the data of that country. So I think we paid like $30 to get 2 gigs of data on the mobile hotspot, and you'll get like 2 megs. You'll get like 2 megs of download. You'll have enough to do your work and stuff like that. But I think the mobile hotspot's a cheap way to go about it. And of course, if you're like on a yacht or a boat, then you got to go satellite. We're not there yet, but we've been planning. We wanted to do it for this one, but his counterpart here shot us down. Robert is what you call a buzzkill.
Extreme fear of the low rides.
So Alex wants to know, this is one of my students, what kind of hardware do you recommend?
I mean, basically, you really don't need anything that special for trading as long as you got, you know, something that can stream charts, run the internet in a web browser.
So, yeah.
That's really all you need.
If you have money,
you can buy a top end, like I bought the MSI WS60 It's got a 3K resolution IPS monitor. It cost me about $2,800. That's pretty,
It's hot.
pricey laptop.
So yeah, in the ideal world, you're gonna have the 16 gigs of RAM and the best Intel i7 and all of that stuff, but it's not necessary.
I mean, it depends on how intensive the programs you're going to be running. How many different charting programs are you using?
Yeah.
How many different software packages do you have that you really need? If you're keeping it basic, I basically just run TC2000, Speed Trader, and my chatter. That's it.
So, I mean, minimum I think is, the minimum would be like an Intel i5 and then 8 gigs of RAM. But if you get something with like 16 and an i7, that's gonna last you a few years. And you can still get something like that. So I've seen like Lenovo's. I was just looking at those Lenovo's for one of my coworkers, my roommate, Chris. And I think I spent $900 to get him a computer, and it had 16 gigs of RAM, an SSD, an Intel i7. It was a 2.8 gigahertz or hertz or whatever. It's $900.
Yeah, and they get anything for around $1,000.
You're gonna be good to go.
Gravy.
I mean, I think he's gonna be really happy with it. Alex also wanted to know the speed of the connection. How does it affect your trading? For me, it's awesome because it slows me down. Like I yell at the camera all the time. I'm like, I got no quotes.
Give me a quote.
Give me a quote. And then sometimes I'll yell at everybody like, turn your cell phones off. Because everybody's connected to the same Wi-Fi. So I like freak out and tell everybody to turn their cell phones off. And then I start getting some quotes. But I think one of the things is like you got to anticipate the trades a lot more.
Yeah.
You got to scale in while the price is low in anticipation of the breakout, and that'll kind of keep you patient. But you definitely don't want to do the type of trading style where you're just like I do, the zing, zing, in, out, buzz around,
Yeah. I mean, that's
hard.
pretty much the only issue is if you're not streaming in real time, then you're going to have a delay. You might be trying to buy when it's already at a price. But for the most part, I mean, 1 megabyte download speed, you pretty much can get the ticks that you need.
It's not ideal.
Not ideal. I mean, obviously, a 50 to 60 megabyte download speed at home is much better, but you can manage. I mean,
worst comes to worst, you always, in all these countries, the 3G is always faster than the Wi-Fi in the houses. So you go get a 3G hotspot or cell phone. And cell phones in all these countries cheaper than even the US, and you'll have 2 or 3 megabytes per second, and you just turn your phone into a hotspot. Yorick is one of the guys that's always lurking around asking great questions. He wants to know, like when you're playing in-play stocks, you play in-play stocks just like I do. You were in Givo the other day, you ripped it from $3 to $4 or whatever, and it went to 7, and we were both suicidal. But you had ICLD the other day, Friday at 375 or whatever, runs at 450. So you pick, those are in-play stocks that have a PR earnings that are in play. How do you pick which ones you choose? Because every day there's a million stocks at Gap.
It's basically I just look for what I call an F1 breakout pattern. That's what I teach in Fous Part 2. I'm basically just looking for stocks that are gaining momentum right out of the open. I look for pre-market movers. Oh, thanks, sweetheart.
Thank you, darling.
Basically, just pre-market gappers that are moving up. Typically, there's going to be a PR going on, and then I basically look for an intraday breakout pattern on a 1-minute chart, and that kind of gives me an idea that, hey, this maybe is moving to the next level. It might see a secondary run after it already moved pre-market.
True. So, and when you're narrowing down which ones you do, I think one of the keys is to know the former movers. Like ICLD, Givo both have moved big in the past. So those are the names we focus on. Like if it's like some random ticker I've never heard of, I don't really play it. Like, I mean, I might put it on my watch list.
You want to play it with a little bit more caution. But when you see stocks that have made big moves in the recent months, you know that stock has the ability to move. Like
if I've won on it before,
you know that there's a crowd that's already following it. So there's going to be a lot of action and other traders that are going to be interested in trading this stock and actually really build some big momentum on that play.
I agree. So just a couple more. How do you balance fun with work while you're traveling? Oh, that's hard. I work all the time. So like if I got to work, I work. Like we work. The thing is, what we do is so fun. So like in our house in St. Mark, we had this incredible view. We had this big stone outdoor table. So like sitting on our computers all day diddling is like, it wasn't not fun. Like it was fun.
it's either doing it at home or doing it here in a beautiful place at a magnificent house. But really, managing both fun and work is, we're here on a mission to make money and educate you guys and show you what
Money
is
comes
capable
first.
to do it. We didn't get here by not working, but we do know how to have a lot of fun. That's also why we are here. We're not just here only for work. We're here to, really enjoy the lifestyle of a day trader, being able to work for 1 to 4 hours a day, and then come hang out on the beach, have a beer. But as you can see, we're out here on the beach having a beer, shooting a webinar, kind of giving you guys an idea of what it is. So there's a lot of work that goes into what we do as well. We got to go back, edit this video, do a lot of stuff. But then tonight's also our last night here, so we're definitely going to go out and make the most of it and have a lot of fun at the same time.
Plus, it's been fun. We've been working. We've had girls over at the house. We had some friends fly in from the States and stuff. So it's we work, then we go and jump in the pool and have a little pool party for 30 minutes. Then we come back and we work a little bit.
Yeah,
and we got people around us. We surround ourselves with a big group of friends. And so while we're working, it's we're still hanging out and being social. And we usually do about 2 activities a week, like the snorkeling, the boating. We'll probably go to the beach every day, but the activities we only do a couple times a week because we got to work. So we do balance it, and the thing is, sometimes you just can't sleep that much. You go out,
you just gotta make it happen.
You gotta make it happen. You just can't sleep that much. You take a nap in the afternoon and work itself out. Mr. Kim wants to also know, what's your morning routine?
Out here it's a little different because I actually have some time to wake up. It's San Diego. It's a really short routine because I wake up at about 6, snooze once or twice by 10, then it's 6:10. I get up, slam my morning coffee, check out the pre-market movers so I can find out what stocks are in play. I send out my pre-market watch list before the open saying, hey guys, these are the stocks that are in play this morning. These are what we're going to be looking for those morning breakout patterns. And basically get started by doing that is basically just get my coffee and look at the morning stocks in play.
Yeah, for me it's so he's on the West Coast time. He gets no time. For me, the market opens at 8:30, so I usually go to the gym for an hour, and then I have breakfast.
Morning.
And we got it. We're holding, baby. We're holding. So I go to the gym. And then I answer emails, I do my business stuff. I've got 13 employees. We've got so much stuff going on, so I gotta take care of my business. Then I get ready to trade. I scan for gappers, stocks in play, stocks with PR, earnings, all that fun stuff. And then it's just about letting it rip and letting it roll. I just got 2 more questions, Cam. Do you ever hold stocks overnight?
Yeah, the core strategy of Fous, the first DVD that I created, is nothing but swing trading. That's it. It wasn't really until about 2008 when the stock market crashed and things were really just ripping up and down. There's really trying to swing trade then was impossible. So I really got into day trading, and that's what I started going into in Fous Part 2. It's nothing but day trading, but really kind of how to implement day trading into my core swing trading strategy. So it really depends on the chart, depends on the market conditions. But
sometimes you swing, sometimes you day trade.
Yeah.
Do you ever, dun 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 dun, so with a small laptop screen, how do you identify tickers in play and watch them on a small screen? Whether the screen is,
I use these 2 eyeballs.
Whether the screen is 15 inches or 27, the charts are going to be the same.
It is a little different.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
3K resolution. You can't read it, but I can somehow.
I got terrible eyes, man. He's got this fine resolution thing, and
it really makes no difference. You just got a chart, and you look at it. Use your eyeballs.
You gotta use your eyeballs. It's really not that big a deal. I've never noticed a thing. I think it's a misnomer that traders got to have these huge monitors. What do all those toys do? Dun 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 dun. Let's see here. Finding your stock.
This wind is picking up big time.
It's picking up, baby. We just don't want to drop this laptop. It's the hot one.
That's the money maker.
After finding your stocks and play, how do you track them? Guys, you only need one screen. You can do everything on one screen. How many charts, how many tickers do you really need? You should focus on 4 or 5 stocks, and then it's just about watching them. Like, I don't even have charts up. I just watch the ticker, and then when I think it's ready, I'll flip through the charts and I'll go back through on and off. But you don't really need, I only have the one screen for the trading. The other one is for my social media, and the other one's for my business, like, Slack and stuff. But really, I'm doing it all on one screen. And the reason I do that is more because I'm on Bulls Vision, so I show my screen to my students while I'm trading, and so they need to see everything that I'm seeing. So I can't have a bunch of screens to trade on, because then my students can't see me. I have my actual trading platform up when I trade in front of them. Yeah. They need to see how I hit these buttons. And so I think that's really important. And so I just do it off one screen, al natural, baby.
Boom.
Like it's 1975.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I think that's it. So Cam,
My
what do you
man.
think? Give me the honest truth. Better St. Martin Dominican trip, better or worse than Cartagena?
I mean, that's a really tough question. I mean, Cartagena, that was one of the most magical cities I've ever been to. And it's really, that was a little bit more different than where we are now. Right now we're kind of living the island life, beautiful beaches.
Lazy life here.
Just chilling, going out, having fun. Cartagena was basically a little town, a little city, but really cool restaurants, beautiful women, met a lot of cool people. It was actually, the people there were, a lot nicer and more friendly than I would have considered. A lot of people were questioning, like, why are you going to Colombia? Like, isn't that dangerous?
Colombia is very safe,
Yeah,
very beautiful.
It was so safe. Everyone was so friendly. The restaurants were amazing.
We met great friends.
Yeah, Juan Del Mar, if you ever go to Cartagena, that was our spot.
Juan Del Mar, the
Go
name you
check it
know.
out.
Give me one. You gotta pick one.
Shit. I think I might go with Colombia, man.
Oh man, I can't tell.
I don't know. I mean, coming out here and doing like
One is city, one is beach.
Yeah, it's apples and oranges.
Yeah. One is city, one is beach. I think that in this trip we've been a lot more active doing like man's man stuff, the ATVs,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was
cliff
gonna say.
jumping,
All those activities we've done. That island trip we just went on the other day was insane.
private
That
beaches,
was really cool.
private boats. I mean, we did everything here.
Yeah.
Cartagena it's a party town.
We were just partying and working.
And it's an old town. It looks very much like the French Quarter of New Orleans. It's like built like that. It's a walled city. It's very historic. You can feel, it feels like it's the 1500s when you're in Cartagena.
Yeah,
You
it's
feel
really
the history and the culture, and I thought that was really cool. I haven't been around that before. So it's a toss-up. They're two different ones.
Yeah, I mean, they're both amazing, all I can say. One
All right.
beach, one city.
So it's our last night, buddy. It is time for us to go and get after it. Folks, thanks for having us aboard. Well, I guess we're having you aboard since this is recorded.
Yeah.
But it's been a pleasure, and we'll do this again in our next trip.
We will be in Spain soon enough.